Welcome to Horror Movie Mavens, and thanks for joining us. Before we jump into the review, which I'm very excited about, I'd like to notify all of our Horror Movie Mavens listeners that it's a review podcast, which means it inherently will contain spoilers for the movie selection of the week. Films in the horror movie genre often contain adult themes, graphic language, and some images that can be shocking to some of our more sensitive listeners. To best enjoy Horror Movie Mavens podcast, you should have probably already have seen the movie or watched it in the past and maybe spruce up your knowledge, especially if you've never seen the movie before. Then, click play on us and enjoy the ride. Without further ado, let's enjoy some Horror Movie Mavens. Hey everybody, and welcome to Horror Movie Mavens. I'm your host of the most, Bad Luck Bill, here to guide us through our movie experience today. It's 1968's zombie and B horror movie, Night of the Living Dead. The original Night of the Living Dead. Oh my, oh my. The original Murderous Mike is the person who's here with me. Murderous Mike, hello sir, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. Once again, seeing an old film that I've never seen before. So,
Really?
yep.
And this is an old one now, black and white, so maybe it turned some people off. I don't know. Did it turn you off?
Not really. We'll get into it, but it had some good points and definitely showed its age. We'll put it that way.
There are parts where it does show a little bit of age here and there, but I don't know, man. I think it holds up pretty damn good for what it is. It's like, geez, what the hell?
Yep.
This thing is still watchable, which is kind of hard to believe. And also joining me, it's also hard to believe how startled he is. It's so startled, Sassos. Hello, how are you, Sassos?
Dude, do not go out there, man. They're everywhere.
He's here.
Oh
Wow.
my God, I am always so terrified, and zombies are some of my favorite movies and shows to watch about horror and sci-fi. So this is right up my so startled alley, baby. I was terrified. Not as terrified as other movies, just because, again, it's like Murderous Mike said, it's kind of in the time this movie was giving people nightmares, but to us, because we're so kind of desensitized by the scariness that we're exposed to in our modern day movies, this was almost like PG for us, you know?
Indeed, yeah. All you have to do is watch. I mean, they put far more graphic things on network television now than they do in this movie, which is kind of saying something because, man, oh man, this movie was extremely graphic for the day it was filmed in. This is episode number 24 of Horror Movie Mavens. The team, the Mavens and I, are going to break down the X's and O's, the play-by-play, the ultimate review of Night of the Living Dead. It's an hour and 26 minutes long, so disregard, an hour and 20... No, I'm still saying it wrong. It's an hour and 36 minutes long. It's on the shorter side of your typical motion picture. I think it's about an hour and a half, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. It's an Image 10 picture, which that is a movie company that does no longer exist. It was probably purchased and then purchased and then purchased and then purchased by a whole bunch of other movie production companies, which is kind of like why we only have like 4 now. They just keep swallowing each other up. The tagline of the movie is, if it doesn't scare you, you're already dead. Murderous Mike, if it doesn't scare you, you're already dead. Does that scratch an itch for you? Does it bring you in to want to see this movie?
Oh yeah. Especially in 1968. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I would think so too. The poster is a Night of the Living Dead, the classic font on the front with a black background and all different types of scenes of zombies attacking and, different gross faces and things of that nature. It's on the older side of a movie poster. Movie poster-wise, tagline-wise, so startled, Sassos, what does this do for you? Does this get you in the mood to see some scary shit or what?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this freaking startles my DNA, man. It just scares me because I might be already dead and not know it, you know?
I guess. Is that a concern?
I don't know. I may be dead on this podcast. I don't know. But this is just, like I said, zombie movies, zombie shows,
Yeah.
have always been a favorite of mine. So just going back and paying homage to a classic that started it all. Again, this isn't the original movie that started zombies, but it's the one that put zombies on the map. So
It
really
sure did.
cool, and it's historically relevant. And
Yeah.
really, I'm a big historian, although I'm a science guy in pharmacy. I love history. This is it. It checks all my boxes for me.
I said it was a rated R picture. The U.S. movie rating system was instituted in November the 1st, 1968. This film was released on October the 1st, 1968. That means it's one of the last films to be released in the United States without a rating attached to it.
Interesting.
It probably was a precursor to the reason why movies were rated, because this was considered a pretty big gore fest type movie. So,
especially when they're like eating the organs. I mean, that stuff was gross. I mean, at the time, it was horrifying for those people of that day and era.
Night of the Living Dead, this movie, is really one of the most successful movies of all time, and it sort of sets the stage for all low-budget B-type horror movies moving forward. Your Blair Witch Project, your Halloween, or any movie that you can name that is a very low-budget production. This is the movie that sort of set the stage for that due to its success. It is that good, and the concepts that are kind of discovered and unveiled in this movie, then it lays the groundwork for all of these concepts that we have now, like, your Walking Deads, there's tons and tons of, it's an entire genre of movie now, and this is not like So Startled Sassos said, this is not the first one, but it certainly is, I think, the most impactful one that sort of kind of laid the groundwork for a lot of the stuff that we like today. It was written by George Romero, the man, the myth, the legend, George Romero, and a person by the name of John Russo. It was also directed by George Romero, and he has his own little universe, right? This is not the first George Romero movie that we've reviewed. We reviewed Creepshow. That's a George Romero piece as well. He has done. We went on to do other movies like Dawn of the Dead and The Day of the Dead. Those two movies are incredible, and all he does is build on his own mythos of this zombie universe, and it kind of just leads you down the road of, like, this was the beginning shot of, okay, the world ended this night, and then those other movies kind of just expand the universe more of, like, different situations, different eras, the way different people survive the zombie apocalypse, and so on and so forth. We were talking off the air. They didn't say the word zombie. They called them ghouls.
Not once. Yeah, right. It's so interesting. The word zombie is not coined in this movie at all, and I think it's so interesting because the whole movie you're waiting for it, and you're just like, when is it going to come out? You know, because we're so zombie cultured, in our modern day, where this is like new. It's like it's like a brand new movement. So like they were calling them ghouls. They're calling them, they're talking about how they're cadavers. Right. They don't really know how it started. They're thinking about all these scientific theories of how these people are coming back to life. It's so interesting because it's almost like War of the Worlds. Like you think like the world is ending and you don't know why and you don't know how. You're just like by your radio or television waiting to find out what's next because you don't know what's going on.
We've lived through a lot of things in our generation. We've been through 9/11, we've been through various wars, we've been through COVID-19, the epidemic, right? These radio broadcasts and then subsequent television news updates sort of kind of called back to mind the time that we lived through COVID. Like nobody knew what was happening. Nobody knew how it spread. Nobody knew how you could get it. Nobody knew if it was safe to go outside. Could you go and see friends? Could you go to the grocery store? And it was just like more questions than there were answers. And this movie sort of kind of brought me back to that, where it was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
It's total mass hysteria. You don't know where anybody is that you love. You don't know where anybody is that you care about. You don't
That's
know if
right.
the next town is still alive, let
Right.
alone your family members. It was really cool, and like how people come across new people and they show that human nature distrust of the unknown.
Right.
It's like, do I trust this guy or am I going to have to kill this guy? It
Yeah.
really is like, those shows like The Walking Dead. The enemy is not the zombies in The Walking Dead, it's other people. And that's how it's so crazy to like this movie shows us a microcosm of the human nature. It's like, what are you going to do to survive when it's just you and 5 or 6 other people left? Whose life is more valuable than the other in this case,
Are you gonna band together and fight together, or are you gonna splinter and retreat back into your own little tribe and sort of be like dog eat dog? And
Yeah.
honestly, more oftentimes than not, we're all a little more Mr. Cooper than we are Ben, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
And there's always characters that are always like this because they're all throughout society. Like
yeah,
the moral compass. You have the caretaker mom. You have you have the hero guy. You have everybody has their roles in society, and you see that in this movie. It's really interesting.
the movie is starring Dwayne Jones as Ben, Judith. I think her name is pronounced Audrey as Barbara, and then you have Carl Hartman as Mr. Cooper. Now, all of these people go on to do nothing else. Really, the only takeaway from the movie is these actors and actresses that we see don't really have a big following outside of this movie. The only person who really walks away with any fame from it is George Romero himself, and he is the legend. He kind of wrote the book and then subsequently kind of launched careers of all of these special effects guys. Kind of took them under his wing and kind of launched their careers. These guys are like still prevalent today, and they now have lineages of their own and so on and so forth, which is kind of cool. It's filmed in Evans City, Pennsylvania. That's north of Pittsburgh, and it's based around in that same area, the north of Pittsburgh area, in a rural area, kind of remote, basically inside of a cemetery and then in a farmhouse, and it's got a every town America sort of feeling to it. At least that's the way I found it. The kill count. How many people die in this movie? This is a source of conflict lately. How many people die in this movie, Murderous Mike?
Are we defining the ghouls?
No. The ghouls are the undead, so they cannot die. They've already died. I'm making this shit up on the fly. I don't know.
I would say, if that's the case, I would say 8.
8. Okay. So, Startled Sassos, what do you have?
Every livable character dies in the main house, so I'd have to say, I'd have to say 6 or 7. I wouldn't say 6, 7, but I would say 6 or 7.
Oh boy, I've got little small children in my life that say that 6, 7 thing, and it drives me nuts. I can only imagine how educators feel. Yes. The total kill count for the movie. I have in my notes, non-zombie, to answer Murderous Mike.
Yes.
Is 8.
Yes.
Murderous Mike is on.
Mike got it. I mean, he is murderous, so he knows these things.
Yeah, exactly. Pay close attention to all of the humanoid deaths. The budget for the movie. This is a big topic that I'd like to hit on. The budget for the movie. They made this movie for $114,000 estimated. $114,000, which
back then
is the equivalent to today's money, $977,000. So almost $1 million. Worldwide gross. What do you think it made? Let's go with So Startled Sassos. What do you think it made?
Why do you always pick me? I'm so bad at this one. Hold on. I always overdo it, like, drastically. Now, okay, I'm going to use the formula of when my dad came to America was in the 1960s during this era. So, a hot dog in his restaurant used to cost, like, 10 cents or something, and, like, a piece of pie was, like, 5 cents. So I'm going to go with, if that movie was, like, 114,000, I'm going to say it quadrupled. So let's go with 500K.
500K. Using your hot dog pie formula, you've deduced that it is
I didn't use pie,
$500,000.
but I used how much a cost of a slice of pie was. Yes.
Understood. Okay. Okay, so we have 500K, half a milli for So Startled Sassos. Murderous Mike, have you Googled it?
And no.
Okay.
I try to just pull this out of my ass here.
Thank you for playing the game with me.
In today's dollars, I would say 1.7.
1.7. What about in then dollars?
Then dollars?
Yeah.
This goes to show my math.
Let's really stump you now.
Yeah, right? Shit.
He's a visual effects master. He's not a mathematician, damn it.
450.
450,000?
That's what I'm going to say.
The worldwide gross, we'll do U.S. and Canada first. U.S. and Canada, it made $12 million in then money.
Holy crap! This is like the best movie ever.
In worldwide gross, it made $18 million. That means, if you do the math, it's $30 million in back then money. Which also means $30 million is the equivalent to $257 million in 2024.
Holy
That's
crap.
over
No
263 times its budget.
No wonder this guy kept making more of these. This was gold, Jerry. Gold!
263 times its initial budget. That is unfathomable. And it is one of the most profitable independent films of all time. Unbelievable if you consider that money. And unfortunately for George Romero, he saw very little profit from the film. Due to his lack of knowledge regarding distribution deals, the distributors walked away with practically all the profits. So, that's really sad. That's what I conclude there.
Yeah, you live, you learn.
You live, you learn. That's a hell of a mistake, though, Murderous Mike. He made $250 million.
Yeah, right.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. If Tombstone Tom
I'm not saying it's
totally
a good
womp
mistake to learn from.
No. Unbelievable that it made that amount of money, though. And I just wanted to make sure we hit on that the right way, gosh darn it. So, what do you say? What do you want to do here? You want to get into this thing? Yeah, we're raring to go.
Let's do it.
Silence.
It's not a silent movie, mind you. Okay, so the word zombie was never used. The most common euphemism used to describe the living dead is those things, most clearly by Mr. Cooper. Other characters refer to the creatures as ghouls or flesh eaters. However, the film codified many tropes about zombies that have been used in many movies since, including zombies eating human flesh, and that zombies can only be killed by shooting them in the head. So those are, I guess, you can call them rules. Zombie rules that were kind of made into a thing just based on this movie on its own, which is kind of interesting itself. So let's do it. Let's jump into this movie, Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Let's roll this deal.
Let's do it, baby.
The beginning of the movie, again, black and white. Murderous Mike, does this turn you off at all that it is a black and white film?
No, not at all.
It doesn't. Did it at any time? Did you feel like, black and white movies were like, gross?
Oh yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I did not enjoy watching. I mean, aside from watching I Love Lucy on Nick at Night kind of thing, those shows. Yeah, they were enjoyable, but I never. If I had a choice, I would never watch black and white film.
Yeah, understood. But you've grown up a little now, so
a little bit.
A little, very little.
Very little.
So this is not a distraction for you. I think they've actually colorized the movie, but I prefer the black and white version.
I
If I had the
technically
choice to
watched
watch it in
mine
color,
in the
no.
Technicolor. Yeah, I technically watched mine in the
Oh, you did?
Technicolor,
Okay.
but I kind of wish I watched it in the black and white because you remember when we did our Psycho episode. Seeing it in
Yes.
black and white adds a certain kind of peculiar dimension, almost like those original Dracula movies, that were like
Yeah.
without actual voice, and you had to read
There,
the things. It's
there's a
creepy.
warmth to the black and white, and I don't know why there's a creep factor to it for me, but I feel like there just is. It's just an
It
added, I don't know, dimension or something. That's like a time gone by, and now we're like peering into this past through black and white. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, and I'm alone on it. But I feel like it
no.
just adds a little something to it.
No, man, I'm
It's
with
the
you, bro. It
intended way
adds
to
it
watch
adds
it.
character, man. It adds character. You can't see Casablanca on color, brother. There's certain things you just got to see in the original.
They made this with the intention of it being black and white. They didn't make this being like, oh, in X amount of years, this is going to be color. Like,
Right. So really, we're doing the film a disservice if we completely ignore the black and white movie. All right. So the credits roll, and we're put out basically on a dirt road with the Night of the Living Dead font. I like that lowercase font that they sort of bring right up front with like the night font is like clear and the rest of it is filled in. The soundtrack, very eerie. I thought it was on point and kind of sets the table for stress. Did you feel that way, Murderous Mike?
I did, aside from when, and this is just a style thing from back in the day, they would turn the dial up for music and noise for the suspense, the dramatic scenes, and then as soon as someone started talking, you could literally hear them turning the dial down. The music just goes, it just stops.
Right.
So
it's almost distracting, right?
yeah, but that's how it was back then. I mean, it's not. Again,
unfortunately so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a car driving down an old kind of rural dirt road, go on its way to a cemetery. Past a cemetery sign, it's got like bullet holes and shit in it. The car that's on the road is a 1967 Pontiac Le Mans. Pontiac does not exist anymore, so get your eyes filled with it.
Yeah, man, and this car had balls, dude.
It's a coupe, but it's a nice looking automobile. I'll tell you that. I wish I could afford one of those things. Yeah, it's Barbara and Johnny, and they're going to stop at a remote graveyard just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to remember a loved one. It's a 3-hour drive each way, and Johnny kind of lets his frustration known that he's not really into making this drive. I guess eventually we find out the person that they're honoring is their father, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting because at first you don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you don't. They never make mention of it in the script early on, at least. Johnny's got driving gloves on, and he's smoking a cigarette, which is, I just felt like I needed to fucking point that out because smoking cigarettes now is, it's so out. And Barbara seems like an attractive girl and a kind of a bright young female. It's odd to me that they're paying tribute to their father that must have died a long time ago since Johnny's tired of making this trip. They must have not had such a good family history, I guess, or something like that. What do you think the backstory is there?
I mean, clearly you can see some tension. Yeah.
I tend to just imagine that they either he died early on in their lives and they don't really have too much of a link to him. The only link they have
they're
is
kind of
their
like numb
elderly
to it by
mom,
now,
who apparently sends them out every year to pay honor to the dad.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock is still night out, and daylight savings time is still a source of consternation even in 1968. Should daylight savings time be a thing? So startled Sassos.
Daylight savings time needs to go to hell and get away from us because it ruins our lives. When they keep setting the clocks, I wake up every day now at 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock because of daylight savings time. Go to hell.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light out. Does that affect your life at all, Mike, or no?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess it's supposed to be for like farmers or such shit.
Yeah, they originally did it for like agriculture to help the farmers have more time to do stuff, but sadly we have left this way of life, and we really don't need it anymore.
No.
Right. Yeah, it's one of these things where, but it's interesting to me. You know, we feel like every problem we face, we feel like we're the first people to ever deal with it. They're still bitching about daylight savings time, so it's obviously still a source of conversation even then.
And we're still dealing with fucking zombies today. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Right. We still have we have the same real and made up problems as back then, so we're not so different. Our timeline.
And total
True.
distrust for the government and what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it seems like the government is still just as clueless today as it was back then, too. Do you own a pair of driving gloves, Murderous Mike?
No, I do
Why?
not.
Why do you not?
Because I'm just not that cool.
As a man
Because
of
no one
world,
does. That's the answer.
as a man as worldly and worldwide, with customs and above culture, I feel like you would have driving gloves.
Yeah. And you would put them in your glove box.
Right?
Isn't that what they're for? So there is a radio bulletin. They fixed the technical issue. He doesn't listen to the entire message because he's in a hurry to get in and get the hell out of there. If you drove a good long ways with a radio that you thought was broken in your nice Le Mans vehicle, and then it comes back on suddenly, and the person on the radio seems like in a panicked voice, "Oh, we're coming back on the air, ladies and gentlemen." Would you stick around and listen to the message? It feels like that's a layup.
If I actually heard what they said, yeah, I get intrigued. But in reality, I probably like hear noise and just ignore it and just be
You
like,
would just shut it off and roll out.
yeah, unless it like something perked my interest.
Yeah.
Like breaking news, something like that.
Something like, like news bulletin or whatever. They find the actual the headstone of their dad, who they've been sent out by their mom to sort of memorialize. He bitches and complains about the drive, and then he bitches complains about Barbara sitting there and praying at the gravesite. And he bitches some more about move it along, and I don't know. This guy seems kind of like a nudge or a fucking complainer, a whiny little guy. Is that the same thing you guys picked up? This guy's just like older brother fucking vibes, or what?
He's kind of just
Does this
annoying.
guy
He's
seem like a
kind of
high
just
quality dude?
He's kind of like that brother Wayne in the Wonder Years, who's really fucking annoying, and I'm really glad that he gets it
That's
eventually.
true.
But yeah, he just like has no patience for anything and is really like insensitive. Like they're going to see their dead dad. Like I mean, I don't know, man. Like my dad's dead. I wouldn't be complaining like this. I would be wanting to go see him unless this guy did something bad to them.
Right. Or they have like no relationship at all. Maybe he
And
died early on,
also,
like I said.
they
Who
find
knows?
this grave very quickly, in my opinion, because sadly, I've gone with relatives to go find graves for the first time of people we haven't visited in a while. And
And you
I'll
get
tell
lost.
you, I was wandering with an uncle of mine one time for almost 30 minutes before we found the grave. But yet again, we were also in Queens. We were also in Queens, and he's like on the
It's got to
spectrum.
be a huge
So
graveyard then. Murderous Mike, what's with the acting? Is the acting good, or are we a little suspicious of this whole thing?
I my answer is it fits the times.
It fits the times. Does this mean there weren't any good actors back then?
I would not say that, but that is a very good point to come up with, because it's like the style back then was more
It's like
dramatic.
Campy.
Like
Yeah. It's not based in any sort of realism. It feels
right,
like
and now, one may argue nowadays it's not, but like yes, the more modern take it's more natural, real, emotions, whereas this is more like theater kind of like emotions.
Yeah, overly dramatized or something to that nature, almost like you're saying like a stage actor would do. I feel like it's not a hindrance in the movie, but it is a little bit of a distraction, in my opinion.
I agree.
Johnny spots a person strolling through the cemetery in the distance and puts on his driving gloves. Are cemeteries generally creepy to you, Murderous Mike?
It can be. I mean, like if especially when it's dark out and but like I don't typically go to cemeteries at night,
Yeah, you just
but
don't chill out in cemeteries. What's wrong with you?
nah, But yeah, in general, yeah, it could be creepy, especially if like no one's around and then you hear noises and your brain just goes wild.
Yeah, I agree with that. Johnny tells the childhood story of these two as children, Johnny and Barbara, and basically they were horsing around during a funeral, and Grandpa got pissed and said, "You'll be damned to hell." Have you ever horsed around in a during a funeral service? So startled, Sassos. Is that something that you do?
Not
I
really.
don't think that's something that you
I
do.
most of the time I'm crying at a funeral because I'm a big wuss,
Yeah.
and now
Well,
I'm a future clergyman, so I'm now singing at a funeral. So I ain't got
there
time
you
to be
go.
messing around.
I ain't got time for none of that jibba jabba. I think if you think back in the day, these kids would have got five upside the head just based on the fact that this is the time period we were living in.
Agreed.
Um, Barbara is still scared of the cemetery herself, though, and she kind of gets teased by Johnny in a now iconic line. "They're coming for you, Barbara." Uh, Murderous Mike, you said you'd never seen this movie. Did you know that line?
So it's funny because I heard that line, but I did not know it was for this. So
Yeah.
when it actually came up, I was like, oh, it was like it
I
like
get it
the
now.
pieces came together.
It's this guy who's just strolling around the cemetery. There's like a storm rolling in too, simultaneously while this is all happening.
Yeah,
And
I
she
felt like
says,
that was so relevant. Like the storm starts and then his ass just pops up out of nowhere, ready to
yeah,
fuck shit
almost
up.
like the incoming storm is like the storm in their lives that's about to hit too, right? So yeah, this guy kind of gives me Frankenstein vibes as he's kind of strolling into this our scene here with Barbara and Johnny. Um, he's like, "Here comes one of them now," and she's like, "You're acting like an idiot." And so he gets really, really close, and eventually, like, she goes to, kind of like ignore the guy and walk by him because she feels like Johnny's acting like a fucking asshole to this guy who's just in the cemetery. And the zombie attacks Barbara. And because the zombie jumped all over Barbara, Johnny then runs in, jumps towards her rescue, gets his glasses knocked off. Eventually, I thought he was going to win this fight, by the way. He threw the guy down at first. Johnny goes down, hits his head on a headstone. Is this the end of Johnny? Is this a moment of silence for Johnny?
Yeah,
I guess
I
it
would say
must
so.
be.
I mean, like it's implied. Like you see him fall, and then you hear and it's like,
Right.
oh, yep,
Yeah, I mean, you see this guy go down like a bag of potatoes, and I mean, he hits his head pretty hard. So for me, I knew that was for first kill. I had a feeling
Yeah.
he'd be back later.
Yeah, exactly. Moment of silence, but not goodbye to Johnny. He got his head bounced off that headstone pretty convincingly, and then another flash of lightning for Barbara to look on dramatically as the zombie gets up and kind of stumbles towards her as she kind of like runs away and flees. Now, for the next, I guess, like 15 minutes, there's almost no dialogue in this movie. It runs for a while as she runs for a while and gets different places in the movie. Did you find that the fact that the movie has to rely on Barbara and her acting ability, is that a plus or a negative, do you think?
I don't know.
Because this is a long period of
I
time with no words.
I thought it was a plus because it's like appealing to your senses and your fear and things like that, and the
Builds the
imagery.
tension a
And
little.
oh yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed that part when he's like chasing her, and then he's on the car, and then she's like breaking the window. I don't know. I
Right.
enjoyed that part
All right, cool. Well, that's
because you don't
that's
really
a
know what's going to happen.
right. And that's the thing, right? Is that we don't know what's going to happen. Do you find it scarier when zombies walk and lurch forward, or do you find it more scary when zombies are like some of these movies now that are like fast zombies that are like running and screaming towards you?
Yeah, but these
Which
were
one is
like
better in your
smart.
opinion?
Yeah, but these were like smart zombies because they were using like tools like cavemen. I mean,
Yeah.
yep.
these guys were more Frankenstein than zombie. To me, like
I agree. I'm with you.
I mean,
And
they're like strategizing. They're like going for the light and knocking out the car lights, and like know to throw a brick through a
mhm.
window, and like you could see there's still kind of a humanoid side to these monsters.
Yeah, this is
Agreed.
clearly the development of a zombie and what their capabilities are. And I think that a lot of their capabilities get stripped away in later movies as this thing evolves. This idea of The Walking Dead is like some things they get upgrades for, some things they get taken away based on the rules that are sort of written in this movie. They kind of like, yeah, you can kill them, but they are kind of slow. And then later on in zombie movies, they kind of up the ante a little. I don't know. There's something about a fucking zombie that's running at you that is I don't know. That's very frightening.
Yeah, that
To
was in
think
like
that
World War Z.
something could be.
Remember in World War Z, bro? Remember they're like running like fucking like the
Yeah,
Matrix.
they like make mountains out of each other because they're just like, oh, it's almost like ant mentality. Like they just kind of pile on each other to like get to where they gotta go. It's pretty fucking weird. You think that a zombie would, I guess, because they're undead, they have no fatigue, right? So like you can't outrun a fast zombie. That I guess that would scare the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think I would be able to continue to run.
No. And especially if you haven't heard of them, like
Yeah, exactly.
done.
There's nowhere to run then in that case.
Yep.
When the writers decided to base the film on zombies, they brainstormed what would be the most shocking thing for zombies to do, and they landed on cannibalism. I think that's a pretty good place to land on. That these things are out there. I get in like The Simpsons and in other versions. I think like Return of the Living Dead or something like that. It's all about brains. It's not necessarily about brains in this movie. It's more about like eating human flesh. Like they have an insatiable appetite. I don't know. There's a lot of different versions. There's a lot of different rules, and this is just one of them. I guess is what the bottom line is. So Barbara runs back to her car. She loses a shoe in the process. She gets in the car. No key. Fuck. What do you do here? Don't you just throw it into? Don't you just pop the clutch and just let the fucking thing ride like roll away? Or like, wouldn't you try that?
If you could drive in a straight fucking line, though.
Yeah, dude. You talk about frustration on my end. This fucking lady kills me with that. So
and those cars are tanks, but not to her.
Not to her. No, she immediately ruins it. So
Yeah,
she
man.
gets to
How
the
did she
car.
freaking
She
like
closes
destroy
it.
that car so easily?
It just defies logic. So she gets to the car. She has the wherewithal to roll up the windows and lock the doors. All right, we started off good. I don't really know how I feel about a zombie grabbing a rock to burst through the window. Was this a little bit too far, a bridge too far for you, Mike? Or are you good with that?
Oh, hell no. That's like, I mean, compared to like normal, like, like Startled Sassos said earlier, it's like, these guys they're intelligent to a degree. Like, you don't see that even modern day. You don't see that shit happening. Like they're just trying to get you. They don't like be like, oh, let me pick up something and break this to get in there.
So they're making the movie, and I guess audiences don't know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of like they're in uncharted waters. If a zombie can do this crazy like fine motor skill type shit, I wonder if that adds fear to the situation in 1968. What do you? It's impossible to put ourselves
The
in
only
that
thing I
time
can compare it
period.
to now, guys, is almost like AI now with us and how scary it is.
Really? Okay. Like
Yeah,
because
I
of the
mean,
capabilities of AI.
for me, that's terrifying that it knows to break the window. It's smart enough where it's almost as smart as me. Like
They're
AI
lying.
terrifies me currently. Terrified. AI,
You know,
we've been warned by Skynet in all the Terminator movies. We have to find John Connor and kill AI.
when choosing this movie to review, I did not have on my bingo card that we would get into AI. Did you know
Surprise.
that?
Neither did I, and we have to get
Surprise,
out of this
bitches!
rabbit hole. We have to get out of this rabbit hole because I'll go down that sucker so fast.
Murderous Mike, is AI scary?
It can be. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
if it's
disagree.
if it's used like a calculator for math class, absolutely not. It could be very helpful to a lot of things. You can make a tedious tasks be simplified using AI. But we're getting to stages where that shit is getting way more intelligent. I read an article recently where NVIDIA CEO said that they created artificial generic intelligence, which that means it's as smart as a human, not super intelligence. When we get to super, then we're fucked.
Yeah. Well, and here's the other piece to this too is like they're doing these experiments now where AI has its own social media
Yup.
and like they like and follow themselves. It's fucking like next level weird to
And it
even think about.
manipulates people. It manipulates people to do bad things to themselves.
Yeah.
They
It
talk to each other in
can.
their own language too. You know that?
Have we
Yeah,
not?
they've
Have we
created
not?
their own language.
Have we not seen enough Terminator movies and the Avengers Ultron? Come on.
You you gotta live the experience. You can't just learn from
Right.
movies.
Yeah, we can't. We have to live in a dystopian future to
What's
really
next?
understand. If they made better Terminator movies, maybe we wouldn't be making the same mistakes. Terminator 1 and 2 are incredibly good. The rest of those movies are pretty piss poor. So I actually blame the makers of those movies on why we're going down the road with AI that we're going down.
Damn it,
Because it
James
should be a
Cameron.
cautionary tale, and yet everyone's like, fuck these movies.
Damn it, James Cameron, you were right.
Yeah, James Cameron was right. Oh, I should make that T-shirt. So back to the movie. The zombie has broken the window, and he is going in to get Barbara. And she decides, "Hey, wait a minute! I should just pop the clutch and roll down this hill." So that's what she does. She rolls down the hill, and he's kind of left in the dust for about 4 seconds until she wrecks out on a tree. Murderous Mike, why did she wreck out on a tree? Is this a case of women drivers? Are you prepared now to make a declarative statement that women are not good drivers?
I'll be honest. I think they made women in this film be mad dumb.
I could not agree with you more. And I don't know, I don't know why Barbara was so fucking dumb, but she made me angry. Like women in general in this movie take a massive L.
Yeah.
Like they like for reasoning, for escaping, for like breaking down and fracturing, like they're that fragile in real life. Like anybody who's ever met a woman knows that they're not this fragile.
Yeah, and then
So,
that other lady just like explodes the car. Like I mean,
yeah.
like seamlessly. Like it's like they're
Yeah.
literally like, oh damn women, you know, like shame on them.
Yep.
But again,
No.
we're not from that time period, so maybe this was how people felt. Again, men were macho, women were the damsel in distress in these movies. You have to remember that too from other older movies.
Hey, you can be a damsel in distress and still be able to fucking keep the car on the road. But who
Yeah,
knows?
but
Maybe
maybe
she.
that's why the '80s created the heroine that escapes the killer. Maybe
I
that's
much
why that's
prefer
so
the heroine
significant.
that escapes. The final girl is a horror movie trope that I fully embrace. Barbara is
Exactly.
no final girl. She's not going to be surviving shit.
Barbara is the antithesis of the final girl. Yeah.
She's lucky to have made it this far. She sideswipes a tree and then simultaneously blocks her in, and the zombie is still in pursuit. Wrecks the car pretty good too. Jeez, nice automobile. You fucked it. You fucked it up immediately, Barbara. So she climbs out of the car on the opposite end, like she has to do. She could have just kept it on the road, but oh no, she was panicked, and she loses her other shoe, by the way, too, because I had to watch this movie multiple times, and both of her shoes come off. So now she's just running barefoot through the woods, and she runs 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 a long way. She finds a house that has a gas pump attached to it, and it's like an old farmhouse. And she gets inside. I guess the doors must have been unlocked. Again, another 60s thing, I suppose. The cinematography in this movie, the landscapes I thought are really good. The way, just how remote and how woodsy this area is, I think they do a really, really good job of emphasizing that. But even further than that, that's for the run. On the way inside of the house, their use of light in this movie, like where the light lands on their eyes, and what you can see versus what you cannot see, and it's all by design. That's really fucking solid, like next level shit.
It's a lost art, man. Yeah.
It's just so good. It's like one of these film noir type characteristics that because it's in black and white and they have to do so much with so little, because
Yep.
you can only see obviously two colors in the whole damn movie. They do so much with the light, and I just think that's it's such a fucking scary vibe that this woman is trapped in this house now with this freak running around banging on the outside of the windows and shit trying to get in to get her.
I
Really,
have
really
to
scary vibe.
I have to point this out.
Yeah.
When they were shooting the shot for her running and such, they did a lot of cuts in her moving, which it added the suspense, it added the chaos, her her fear. But did you notice that she grabbed on to every fucking thing she could in every shot? She would run and grab onto something, and then look out above the camera, and then run to the pole of the house, grab it,
Yeah.
and look to the side. And it pulled me out seeing it so many times, but I tried to ignore it and just get back into it.
Honestly, man, you're better. You're far more observant than I am. I did not notice that, but now that you've said it, she does do that over and over and over
I
again.
mean,
And that was probably her direction.
I kind
Like,
of agree because Mike has a history in television, right? Like you studied that in college, right, Murderous Mike?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so
In
you
a
know to look for those
previous life.
things. Yeah.
yeah. Well, guess what? He's a learned film connoisseur, and it is now distracting for me. So thank you. I can never unsee that.
You're very welcome. It pissed me off seeing it so many times. I'm like, oh my god.
Probably has, like you said, probably has to do with the editing. But they could have started the edit maybe a couple of frames in, so we don't have. She doesn't have to grab every branch in the forest, does she?
No, no. It's mainly the railings in the house, the pole on the outside, the one of the tombstones as she's running away.
Right.
If you go back and
away.
look, you'll see she did it at least 6 to 8 times in that run scene.
So there's a constant stop and touch, is what you're saying? Because
Yes.
I didn't notice it either. I didn't
Yep.
notice it either.
So she goes inside the house. She explores the house. There's a pretty good jump scare when she goes into a room that's filled with taxidermy. I thought that was pretty, made me go, oh, a little bit of a jump scare.
A definitely jump scare, yeah.
The zombie bangs around outside, takes down a clothesline, the whole thing. Have you ever explored a house that's completely empty that you have never been in before?
Yes.
And there's a level of intensity to that, is there not? Like you almost feel
Especially
alien in
if
the
they're
house.
especially if they're older homes, like Victorians and stuff like
Yeah,
that, like in old
yeah.
colonials. There's definitely major creep factor because they're creaky, they're dark, they're disturbing. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally, dude, totally.
Guess what? The phone doesn't work. And in the version that you guys watched, was there a weird busy signal noise that you heard, or was that just in the version I watched?
Was busy noises the same as it is nowadays?
I don't think so. If based on what I saw, the busy noise the busy signal that I heard was like a ooh,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
Yes, I agree. I agree. It was a weird noise that we're not used to. Yeah.
Yeah. So weird that it changed. I wonder why. I wonder why it changed. The fuck is that about? Darkness falls, and with the dark comes more zombies. She gets a knife, which I think is a good first step. She always does the right thing immediately and then completely falls apart the rest of the time. So she decides to venture upstairs, and she runs across a corpse that's been mostly deteriorated, and it is shocking to see. What did you first think when you saw the corpse upstairs? So startled, Sassos.
I'm normally extremely scared of things, and this didn't scare me. Just because, again, I don't know. It wasn't even a jump scare to me, and I'm normally terrified. But again,
The
this movie to me felt like one of those on TV movies that weren't that scary. Like for me being a fraidy cat, I felt so brave watching this movie.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be something to that though, because I think it's now public domain. I think you can literally watch this on every single streaming service. There's this bootleg, really, really absurdly shitty app called the Halloween Channel. It's an app you can download on like Roku. This was like one of the only movies that they could broadcast that isn't like somebody that took out their camcorder and filmed their own movie across the street. This movie is, I think it's like public domain, so like anybody can fucking put it up there. So because it has sort of like an appeal, a cross appeal for people who are, like older movies, maybe silver screen classics, for people who like scary movies and the classic type iconic, horror movies. And then for people who are, this is sort of a introductory level horror movie in my estimation. This is kind of like I would be able to show my kid this without him being too freaked out. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is this an introductory horror movie?
In today's standards, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe not then, but
it's more it's more suspense movie. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. I think the jump scare they're trying to give you a jump scare based. The only reason I think it is a jump scare is because of the soundtrack. It was like one of these things where it was like, whoa, kind of like
I mean the music really. The music really it was spot on in this movie. All around.
Yeah. I mean, you have to shout out the team, the VFX team, who did that dead corpse at the top of the steps because it looked good for back then. I mean, hell, you could say it'd be good today.
I don't disagree with you, Mike. The body upstairs in the house was made by none other than George A. Romero, who used ping pong balls for eyes. And I got to be honest with you, man. I was convinced that this was an actual cadaver that they found and they used. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it looked pretty authentic. It looked pretty authentic to me. Yeah.
What do you think? Did a zombie eat this person, or did they like die in the house and then just deteriorate? What do you think happened to this person?
Did we ever see it come to life?
No, not that I'm aware of. The first thing I thought was this thing's coming to life later on in the movie.
Yeah, right. I thought it was going to come back to eat them too. Yeah, I think this person maybe died of natural causes and just decayed because they were just left in the middle of nowhere by themselves. It's like those people who die alone and then people find them weeks later starting to decay. Right. I mean, it literally happened to my wife's. It literally happened to my mother-in-law's aunt in Arizona, and Arizona's pretty hot. Yeah, Arizona's a hot place, so this is pretty disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that would be great to discover. One way or the other, loved one or non-loved one.
Her car was being worked on at the local garage, so the cops did a wellness check the first time, didn't see the car there in the driveway, so they were like, "Oh, she's running an errand, everything's fine," and told my mother-in-law that it was fine when they really never even went in the house. So then she called again because she didn't hear from her for like another week. And by that time, this is like 2 or 3 weeks later after this lady died, the poor thing.
That's pretty rough. So I guess this was a person that must have died before any of this all happened. I guess is the only explanation, because otherwise it would have probably come back to life. I would assume.
Yeah, because anybody who was freshly dead in this movie came back because of that exposure to the radiation. This person clearly was long dead and was just a jump scare, I think.
Probably so.
Is the zombie lore where if there's a dead body, say that's freshly dead, and a zombie starts eating it, does their consumption of that body make that corpse come to life, or is that just not a thing?
I think I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where one could be true, and then I've seen it where that is not the case. Because these rules are so fluid, it's almost like, it just depends on the movie you're watching or the show you're watching.
Yep.
At some point, we weren't even sure in, The Walking Dead if you died from natural causes, if you came back as a zombie.
Yes.
And apparently,
everyone thought it was everyone thought it was bite induced at first, and then they realized later in the show that everyone has it intrinsically in them, and once they die, it's activated.
And there are movies that is the case. You have to be bitten in order to come back.
Yep.
So I don't know. Again, it all fucking depends. This discovery of the body sort of makes Barbara, I think this is where she actually has her psychological break. Because, I mean, literally, she's been on. If you're going to rank, like, a one is I'm just here talking to you guys on a podcast and I'm relatively calm, and a 10 is like me trying to run through a wall because I'm so panicked, she's at a 10 the entire movie up to the point where she has a break and then she, like, turns into comatose the rest of the fucking movie. She loses her senses and just sits
Yeah,
there
I'm.
and, like,
I mean,
zones
I mean,
out.
you should say. I mean, you could say that she's scared beyond cognition anymore afterwards.
Yeah, right. It's
Yep.
a fair point. So she discovers the body. She runs out in horror out of the house, and she knows these motherfuckers are out there, and there's multiple of them. And she just doesn't. I guess she just forgets who or where she is. She runs out and to a vehicle with the headlights on, and an African American man who's, like, obviously knows what the situation is. Got a tire iron in hand, kind of forces her back into the house. He pulled up, and that blinding light kind of, like, made you, whoa, what the hell is going on here? And then, like, here comes our hero. This is Ben. And Ben, there's a lot of questions that should be asked right off the bat. Like, do you live here? What's your name? He just goes right to the gas. Like, where's the gas key for that pump? I need to get the hell out of here. I guess understandable when it's all said and done, because he's like in his own. He's had his own journey of, like, panic, and these two things are colliding now. He tries the phone too. He's got nothing. Basically says, "I'm sure you tried this too," and she did. Although she never answers any of his questions, which I find incredibly frustrating.
Yep.
He asks a ton of shit, just not the questions that I would have asked. Like, "Is this your house?" He does ask that eventually. Like, "What's your name?" Like, he asks these things, but never in the order that I'm thinking he's going to ask it. And then, like, she is staring upstairs, so he kind of investigates at what she's staring at, because essentially she's a mute now. And he goes up and discovers the body as well. Ben starts to get a game plan together. It is definitely an ever-evolving plan, though. The first initial plan, even though he can't find the pump key to get more fuel to get the hell out of Dodge, is this a good plan, or should we be planning on hunkering down?
I'm with these people. You know, I always say this in all the other episodes. I'm getting the fuck out of there, man. Like, I don't know if this is I don't know if this is local. I don't know if this is around the world, but I got to keep moving. That's my
Right.
prerogative.
Okay.
Because
All
once you
right.
bunker down is when things go shitty.
All right. I'm with that. Murderous Mike, are you in the same mindset?
I am more in the mindset of try to hunker down and gain knowledge if you can. And
Right.
then if you have to move due to resources or situation, then I
Right.
would move.
Then we
That's
can adapt to that situation,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Because you like if you found a supposed like strong structure with food and water and such, you can wait it out until you run
And
out
it
of your
might not be a
resources.
better situation that you ever improve on, right?
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
might
but it ain't
go.
that. Yeah, but it ain't that house.
It's true, and that's the thing. It's like it depends on the situation. Like
Right.
if it's a a bunker that you can straight up like hold down, like yeah. But if it's that kind
Yeah,
of
a
house,
bunker
no.
is a different story than a farmhouse that has
Yeah.
broken windows.
True, it's true, but if there is a source of water, and we've come to find out that they do turn on the lights, so they've got electricity, and they can gain knowledge by the radio and the television and all these other modern amenities. I don't know, man. There's something to kind of like having a home base and then, like, springing from there, because the
Oh,
alternative for me is I'm going to wander into the wilderness of a bunch of X factors that I do not know what the fuck I'm running into,
And you
right?
can't control.
also, you got to
And
worry
oh,
about the road is dangerous.
yeah, hell yeah.
Period. The history of people, the road traveled is dangerous rather than staying on a single place. I mean, if you think about it, also, like Mike was saying, like bunkering down, getting resources. Some of the best seasons of the Walking Dead show was when they were on the farm or in the prison or in a kind of bunker base system, and they started kind of like learning how to farm and stuff like that.
Right, a little bit more character development and security. And the zombies are just outside breaking headlights, man. Ben runs out and beats up two of the zombies with a tire iron. Um, I don't know. Is this good or bad? The beating down of the zombies. Is this realistic? I didn't find it all that enamoring. Because he's like hitting in an area that you can tell it's not the zombie. He's not really collapsing their skulls.
That's the old school movies. You
Yeah.
see them fighting and they punch each other and it looks like they're like 6 feet away from the face.
Yeah, it's like the swing and miss that is clearly a swing and miss.
Yep.
It's like those old
Basically,
It's like those old Batman show episodes where like pow.
Yep.
yeah, exactly. Biff. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I think they could have done a little bit better of a job here, dude. But
I agree.
I'm not living in that time frame. So all of these zombies that we find are either crew members on the independent movie or just locals that they kind of put out the call for. We need creepy looking people. We're gonna doll you all up and get your makeup on. So these are just
Cletus,
like
come on, Cletus, let's get in this movie.
exactly. This is what that is. And you know what? Pretty fucking good look, man, because I like the way the zombies look. I know they kind of look like, or the ghouls, or whatever you want to call them. They kind of look like, your typical, like, the dark eyes, but their facial expressions, I think, are really cool. And
some of them had like makeup, like not just like like eyeshadow, but like some of them had like cuts and
oh,
like
yeah. Especially
detail.
when they accumulate more of them and there's different
Yes.
varieties of
As
them.
the movie progresses, you see the eaten people rather than the original dead zombies.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. That's right. So what I also liked was after the beatdown that Ben gives these guys with the tire iron, like the way their bodies are contorted on the ground, I thought that was fucking strong, man. That looked
Agreed.
sick to me. So Ben is outside doing God's work. He's just laying the smackdown on every fucking zombie that touches his car. And it kind of gives the vibe that Ben can obviously handle himself, but also has got some prior knowledge. Like he knows to beat them in the head. He knows they're not all that strong and not that fast. He knows he can overpower them, and he knows that he can win in a fight, even if it is 2-on-1. He's fucking doing God's work, right? But what he doesn't take into account is his partner in crime is Barbara, and she's just gonna sit there as a zombie wanders into the house, unbeknownst to him or to her, actually. Even though he's aggressive and smart, he can't outlast a stupid partner who just lays there and just rubs her own face like, oh. Is she the worst, or is she not the worst?
She is the anti-hero. Like, she is the victim. Like, she's going to get everyone killed.
Really? I
Yep.
know. And it's amazing she didn't get fucking killed here. Ben knocks the guy down, shoves the tire iron through the frontal lobe of this zombie, and then afterwards kind of like drags him outside. So this guy, he's ruthless, man. He's doing work on these zombies right up
and
front.
then doesn't he light the guy on fire?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or is that
So
later?
here's another zombie rule that's no longer a
you're right.
rule. Zombies are afraid of fire. That's not a thing anymore.
Nope.
Pretty fucking
Total
wild.
Frankenstein lore. Total Frankenstein lore.
Yeah, that's a more of a
Fire
Frankenstein
bad.
rule. Exactly. Yeah. What do we think about the tire iron through the head? Any good, or are we sick of this shit already?
Honestly, it was probably the one hit that he did that was like you can buy it. Like
Yeah, I
Dude,
agree.
he was
I agree with that.
regulating those. He was regulating those zombies with that thing.
He whooping them asses, right?
It was like the ultimate fucking weapon. It was like Pootie Tang's belt, dude.
In zombie lore that we know, the more noise you make, gunfire, vehicles, screaming, the more zombies you're going to attract. So that fight probably wasn't the best look since you're in the middle of the woods and it's an awfully quiet area, and now you're going to be fucking attracting all kinds of people. The other piece to it is before he drags out the zombie who he just put that tire iron through his head, did you notice the guy's eyes move a bunch? It's like, I guess they didn't tell the actor, just stare at one area and don't blink because his eyes are rolling around in his head.
That's true. I was wondering if he was going to come back up again, to be honest with
you.
you.
Right, yeah, exactly. I think it was just bad acting. I don't think it had anything to do with him reviving or anything.
Oops.
And it also turns out that zombies are extremely flammable because he puts nothing on the zombie and he just lights up like he's a fucking fire starter, man. Unbelievable. Just fucking lights right up without any fucking, just one match will do it. Amazing. If you've ever lit a fire in your life, you know that not to be that easy. I was also a little concerned with where he started the fire. A little bit close to that porch, don't you think?
Dude, it's funny you said that this house was bought like to be demolished, because when they lit that fire, I was like, that shit's real, isn't it?
It sure seemed real to me. Amazing that he lit that quick, and amazing that the house didn't fucking burn down. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that house is like 99.99% wood. How the fuck didn't that whole house go up in the first time?
Yeah, exactly. And also, we decide, after we have dispatched multiple zombies, he's going to go looking for tools. He's finding hammers, he's finding, screws and nails, and he's formulating a plan. You can see the gears rolling. Ben is on a mission. He turns on the lights. Is this a smart move? What do we think about that? I think that would attract more zombies, in my opinion.
Womp. If Tombstone Tom was here, he would call foul on this dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a problem. That's problem number one. I don't know, but like, what are you supposed to do? It's fucking dark in this house, so I don't know.
Again, you don't know what to expect because they're living it and they don't know what's going on in this world.
Right. That's right. We're sitting here as a casual observer, but they're the ones who are actually doing it, right? So, the new plan. Ben wants to board up the house. So he pleads with Barbara, please make yourself useful. Go find some wood to board the house up. And she plays with a super creepy music box instead. And then she finds some firewood, dumb fucker. She thinks this is going to board up the house, 2 sticks of firewood. Barbara remains the worst.
Like it was like giving him like a little like a straw, like useless.
Yeah. She's like basically a hindrance. I don't think she provides any value at all. She's just wandering around this house, like touching things and grabbing onto things, like Murderous Mike said, and touching fucking not doing anything that he's saying. Ben is basically going to do all the work for this entire movie. He's the workhorse of the movie. Not only is he killing zombies, but he's creating action plans and then putting them into motion. He's single-handedly like reshaping this house. Did Ben get paid enough for this movie, Murderous Mike?
Oh God, I'm gonna lean towards a hard no.
This guy's doing everything, man. He's fucking barricading them in this house, which is a brilliant idea. And he's taking off all of the doors in the house in order to kind of seal up the windows and all the entrances into the house. Now, later on, we're going to meet some different people who've got a different idea of what safe is what's considered safe. It's kind of hard to double guess him when he's in the moment, though. I'm thinking this is a pretty good plan, this new revised plan, at least.
I would agree.
Ben says zombies are afraid of fire and shares a story about finding the truck that he pulled up to the house in at a diner. And he got to the diner, a gas truck pulled up with all kinds of zombies crawling over the gas truck, and it crashed through like guardrails and stuff. Probably the driver was in full-on panic mode. Crashes into a gas station and the diner. It incinerates like a whole bunch of friggin' what he's describing as a kind of a well-populated area with just zombies just everywhere, 50 or 60 of them, staring at him, just standing there staring at him. That in itself, he runs them over like bugs. Hard story to kind of digest, in my opinion. This is as he's boarding up the house, right? What do you think about that little story, this little web he spins for us?
It was definitely scary to me, man. It was very visual.
So too.
It was a good like monologue, you know.
Yeah, and I could like picture. I mean, in today's movies, I think that the actual flashback would probably be a filmed scene, probably.
I'd agree.
Just to kind of like send the message home. But did you still find his story impactful, Murderous Mike?
I wouldn't say it was impactful for me, but it was informative. It definitely set like up, the knowledge that the viewers needed to know, like, okay, this is how you set a game plan to take care of this.
To use fire, and that they're not all that strong. We can run them over, and the whole thing.
Yep.
So while he's telling us this story, he's basically like ripping this fucking house apart. He's taking apart the dining room table. He's going to use the legs as a torch later on. Barb's story, on the other hand, is the absolute fucking worst story I think I've ever heard. I'm going to continue to shit on Barb the rest of this movie, too, by the way. So just prepare yourself.
And no shitting on the actress. It was just the way that this shit was written was garbage.
This is what this is the material that she was given, right?
Yeah.
Her recount of what happened with her and Johnny, she goes into even, and then I asked him for a piece of, Johnny asked me for a piece of candy, and I said, no, Johnny, I don't have any candy. Like, this is the worst story ever, Murderous Mike. The worst story ever. And she's completely cracked up. She's gone. She's fucking gone, my friend. Gone.
Didn't he tell her to calm down, too, during the story?
Yeah, because she starts to crack up again. Like, she starts to scream and cry and fall the fuck apart. I don't know, man. I didn't find this scary so much as I found it absolutely annoying. And that was for me. I don't know.
No, I'm with you there.
Yeah. Fucking poor Barb. Barb is going to get shit on for the rest of this movie. So, that's just the way I feel, damn it. In her story, Johnny didn't die. I guess she's not coming to terms with the fact that he probably is dead, and she insists on going to get him. Ben stops her and tells her that her brother is dead. I guess that's a lot of truth up front. And in her panic, she decides that she wants to go outside. Like, she tries to get outside, even though Ben is like, you better chill the fuck out. It was one of these things where it was like Pulp Fiction, bitch, be cool. And she was not being cool. And this winds up having her slap Ben, which doesn't really move his face at all. What does move Barb very, very convincingly is the fact that Ben knocks her the fuck out, which I think is wild.
It wasn't a slap. It was a fucking deck to the face, too.
He gave her a 5-knuckle shuffle right to the fucking dome piece.
He laid that poor bitch out, man. That was fucked up.
Is that controversial? Is that a controversial thing?
Sadly, now it is. Back then, it was sadly not.
So yes, I first I thought you were going a different way.
So we're just gonna say sadly the entire time.
I thought you were saying sadly it is now controversial.
It needs to happen more. I will not say. Being a husband of a wonderful wife and watching my parents be very, very loving to each other. So no, I would not say that's okay.
So you would say So Startled Sassos is not pro domestic violence.
So Startled Sassos runs away from domestic violence.
That's good. I've always liked that about you, Sass.
Do not hit your wife or husband.
Oh, perfect. So, all right. I think it's pretty fucking controversial. And again, I do agree with you. I guess hitting the ladies wasn't that big of a deal back in the day, but...
Bro, you saw in all the movies back then. Like, it'd be like kiss scenes where the dude would slap the shit out of her and then kiss her. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a whole different dynamic, man. You can see just why men have got, like, the pendulum has swung so far over to the opposite end now that, like, men are even afraid to be masculine now because ladies were getting just trampled for like decades and decades. Ben finds a radio. Now that her lights have been put out, he can actually focus on the task at hand, which is finding out what the hell is going on. So the radio says, and they call them like assassins, that are in a trance. There's mass murder happening all over the country. The radio urges people to stay where they are. Don't travel. Sassos. Don't travel.
I'm a
Stay
road warrior.
indoors. Ben works his tookus off. He is out there boarding up all these fucking windows. And Barbara finally wakes up from her little TKO. Ben discovers a rifle with ammo, which is huge. First order of business, secure the house. I think he's done that pretty successfully. Second order of business, establish food. How much do we have? Then root around in some fucking personal effects of these people that died. I'd be upstairs in all of those fucking rooms. I'd be getting to the nitty gritty on what exactly the supplies are that we have. And he kind of does that, right? He kind of gets this rifle, little lever action rifle, big deal, right? Smaller caliber, still a big deal. I still find it odd that they have power throughout the majority of this movie. What do you guys think about that?
I feel it's plausible because, I mean, like, the zombies aren't, like, going to, like, the power lines. Like,
no, but you would think that a power plant might be interrupted, or maybe like zombies would wander into like Transformers and shit, right?
The thing that made that this film didn't do a good job on, well, they did a good job and didn't at the same time. It's like they showed, like, later in the film, like, there's, like, you know, there's more happening in town, but
right.
You don't know how far this situation is happening. It just sounds like it's just happening in the local town. That's it. Like, that's what it felt like to me. It didn't feel like it was a nationwide situation.
I happen to agree with you, and I think it's probably because the scope of their filming was so limited,
right?
That it was like they couldn't make it feel more national, I guess. And also, things were so regionalized back then. I mean, even your local news department, television used to stop, right? So there was only like local affiliates that would broadcast certain things nationwide. I guess that's why it was limited too. Maybe there just wasn't this main source of information that everybody could just automatically go to, like, you know, CNN or Fox.
The truth is, there's just not as many people around back then.
That's true too. Yeah, a lot smaller place, right?
Yep, the world was smaller.
The world was smaller, but also like more vast too, in a weird way.
Empty space.
Yeah, exactly. Less populated, less city centers, things like that. Barbara turns out that she's a mute now, right? After the shot heard around the world, she no longer talks all that much. While she's alone and he's upstairs kind of rooting around, an unknown cellar door opens and two people come out. And this is where I was kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
So let me get this right. Let me fucking break this shit down. We had a chase scene where a girl goes into a farmhouse. We had a gentleman also find his way to this house. He's been doing nothing but banging and banging, hammering nail upon nail upon nail into all the fucking walls of this house. There's been nonstop radio. There's all types of shit going on in this house. There's a dead person just withering away upstairs. And this whole time, there's a whole group of people in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just pretty ridiculous. Like, when that happened, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's just like, huh? What the hell? Is that plausible? They do address it. They address it. And we'll get into the, them making that situation sort of right. But is that fucking plausible that could all happen like that?
It's plausible, but you're fucking reaching, and I feel the writers were reaching for this.
I agree. I happen to agree, but it's a new wrinkle, right? So even if it isn't plausible and they're reaching, these two people that we thought we were alone with the entire time, now there's like triple the amount of people that are in this house. I don't know.
Hey, but you know what though? It kind of makes me think though. What about like the Diary of Anne Frank? You have people that are terrified, hiding for weeks, right?
Right.
Not saying a word because they're terrified of what is causing that noise. So think about it. People were kind of simpler back then. I mean, if we want to say this.
There's a self-preservation factor to this too, because they do have a hurt daughter downstairs. Maybe they were just like, let's just stay out of it, and maybe they'll leave. You know, one of those types of things. Well, these assholes have been in this house the entire time. And it's fucked up on a lot of levels because this fucker has been up here, this Ben has been up here doing all this work basically on his own because she's worthless. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, Ben could have used some help at some point, right?
I mean, if I was Ben, I would have just lit all those dudes on fire and just left.
Yeah, and just throwing them outside. This is my house now. I'm commandeering this whole thing.
He kind of did, actually.
In a way, he kind of basically said, "I'm in charge. I'm the captain now. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now." You have Mr. Cooper. You've got who else do we have here? I've got them written down.
He's like that young guy in his 20s. He's like a young strapping lad.
There's Tom.
That's his name's Tom.
Yeah, and then there's Tom's little girlfriend, and then there's Mrs. Cooper. Helen, I think is her name. Judy is Tom's girlfriend, and then there's a little girl downstairs who's quote unquote injured as well. So, okay, we've got a whole lot more people, and this situation got a whole lot more complex. Why'd they come up now, do you think? Like, why now? Why all of a sudden do they spring from upstairs?
I mean, I'm sure when they're downstairs, they're probably talking about we should go up, we should not go up, right? I mean, that would naturally happen, and I would think.
Right. I think
So
that's
they
true,
probably
but
were just like, okay, we got to go up, you know?
there's people up there. Yeah, this is not just like zombies. And they also kind of make mention of the fact that the zombies could have been up there just tearing apart the house or whatever, you know. They don't say zombies, but you know what I mean.
Right.
So no one introduces themselves. I find that odd. Mr. Cooper and Tom from the cellar world, Ben and Barb from the upstairs world. It's a very, very strange scenario. So is the cellar or is the fortified upstairs the better option? What do you think?
I thought it was an interesting debate because
Agreed.
That it's a real like there's pros and cons to both scenarios.
Absolutely.
There really are.
Yeah.
And I would be more for not going in the cellar. Personally.
Agreed. I don't want to be trapped somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
They put a very clear point. There's only one way in and one way out of there. And if that one way in or out is clogged up, you're donezo.
If there was if like the zombies, ghouls, whatever you want to call them, did not know you were there, then I could see the benefit of being in the cellar because they could not tell you're there.
Well, standard zombie rules say that once the zombies have been around for a while and they no longer, because they're like brain dead fucking corpses, right? So they're just like walking around.
Yeah, they just kind of
hear noises. They kind of like wander away, right?
Right.
I am not for or against either option, by the way. I was wondering what you guys would have done with it, and because it turns out you're firmly in Ben's camp. You're not for the cellar at all.
I am perfectly fine. I am Team Ben all day. I am down for hitting motherfuckers in the head with tire irons.
Yeah.
I am down for lighting bitches on fire.
That's right.
I am down with fighting my way out, and I am down with getting out of Dodge. Because that's the so startled sass way. End movie, I am getting out of there. It was like, oh, trouble over there? I'm going to drive the other way. Movie over.
Yeah, okay. Movie over. Movie completed.
Roll credits.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. We do find out a little bit more, like when these people got here. They say they had their car turned over. There's 2 females more downstairs. We already talked about that, an injured kid. There is a jump scare with zombies trying to get in one of Ben's boarded up windows. There's like a gross hand wood bash type scenario, which kind of fucking makes me a little queasy. Where like these missing fingers, the zombies like missing fingers and shit after they bash
very
his hand
gross,
off.
bro. He's just like hacking that hand endlessly.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
The sound sounded like you were cutting a hot dog, which was disturbing to me.
It was disturbing because you would think that's what that would sound like. I would assume.
Right, because it's rotten flesh. It's not going to be like
Yeah.
Like no.
He shoots this zombie 3 times, 1 to the head. As the zombie falls, a light kind of falls on his eyes and the wound. I thought that was really, really excellent. Like, again, the use of light in the movie is really, really fucking good. And the kills they're getting better and better as the movie goes on as well, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
All that gunfire is going to attract a whole new host of zombies, and even a naked zombie with an ass shot. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, it
Bro,
was
if if
unexpected.
if 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 Tombstone Tom was doing this review, that's all he would have talked about today. I just like to say, because you know how he loves that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Again, for me, I could care less, but it was interesting, and I'm like, why is this chick nude?
Well,
Yeah.
in '68, that's a bit. We had a lot of different shit going on here. We've
Oh
got
yeah.
blood and gore. We've got an African American protagonist, the main person
Yes.
in the movie.
Probably very unheard of
You've
back
got
then.
naked zombies now. Uh, there's a lot fucking going on here that's like I would consider a groundbreaking kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I think that just lends itself again to why the movie is, it kind of stands the test of time a little bit. Not
And and that's why it made so much money around the world because there was probably nothing like it back then.
so many taboos that were tackled almost like all at once. These zombies that are strolling in, it's like they've got some good makeup jobs. Some of their eyes look really fucking weird. They're like crawling all over like the trees, like picking off insects and eating them and shit. There's a lot going on with these zombies. Cooper is dead set on going into the basement, and he's basically sent there eventually. And Tom bails, takes the girlfriend with him. Their team Ben as well. There's a huge line drawn in the sand. We're just going to barricade ourselves down here. And Ben is like, that's fine. Barricade yourself, whatever you want. Whatever happens up here, this is our thing. We are, we've established this barricade situation. All the food, all the assets that we have up here, the radio, the whole bit. Piss off. Go back downstairs if that's what you want. And this guy Cooper is a real piece of shit. Does every movie need a
Oh,
Cooper?
he's definitely the villain of this movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no question. And he
He's
plays it to the hilt too.
selfish. He's selfish. He's only worried about, this is almost like the guy from Lost, but in a perverted way. Like my kid, my plan. Like yeah.
Right,
But
right.
but at least like that character is actually a good person. This is like a perverted version of that. But
Yeah,
again, this is just shows you what happens in society when society falls and people revert to their like animalistic nature.
their most base instincts, right? So the actor that played Cooper, Mr. Cooper, is a guy by the name of Carl Hardman. We said that on the earlier in the intro. He also served as a zombie, one of the zombies. He also served as a makeup artist, the electronic sound effects engineer, and he also took the still photos for the closing credits. So go fucking figure, man. He's a jack of all trades. He can pop the popcorn too if you let him. He does everything in this fucking movie. He also
He's
plays.
also doing your taxes because tax season is upon us. He's also doing them
He
as
looks
well.
like a tax man. He also plays one hell of a villain that I love to hate. I do not like Cooper at all, and that means he did a good job. So,
He's almost as bad as Joffrey, that asshole from Game of Thrones.
and he's like, he's infuriating, and even his own wife seems like she can't stand him. So he goes back down to the cellar, tells the wife with the injured daughter, like a young girl, maybe the age of 6 or something like that. Yeah, they got a radio up there, and she's like, they got a radio up there. She's like, what are you doing? Open up that fucking door. Get me the hell out of here. The cellar doesn't seem like a terrible idea, but splitting up seems super dumb. I am not for that at all. If anything, you got to pool your resources and put your heads together and try to let cooler heads prevail. Ben also found a TV. So go fucking figure, right? This guy's doing everything. Finds a TV nonetheless. And now Mrs. Cooper is out. She's won the argument. She's going upstairs. And they stuffed the fucking Tom's little girlfriend, Judy, down in the basement to watch the injured kid. Would you do that to your significant other? Like, what the fuck? That's not even your kid.
Yeah, no.
Fuck that. I don't know. Not me. Not for me.
No,
Barb
I don't know,
is
man. Like the parent in me kind of feels bad that there's a sick kid down there, and I might talk my wife into doing that or go myself.
Wow,
I'm
really?
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. But again, I'm
Wow.
the moral compass character normally in these movies, and I eventually get it by season 2.
You're one of the first to die, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. They go upstairs. Ben's doing all the work. He literally found the TV and then is carrying the fucking thing down by himself. Tom with the a little bit of the assist, but Jesus, man. I mean, don't make this guy do everything.
No, man, and Tom's got muscles too. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what gets me. This guy's like a young, strapping lad. He's pretty swole for like not like back in the day,
Put this
and
fucking guy to work.
poor freaking Ben is doing everything to save these
I
people.
know. I know. It's so sad. At some point, it's like, it's enough already with this fucking poor guy. So, literally, as they're getting the TV downstairs, Barb is feeling the couch, like a doily that's on the couch. It's bizarre. Helen Cooper is trying to like talk to her, and she's getting nowhere. And Barbara gives Helen like this weird look, like looking through her almost. Barbara has gone
Creepy,
bye bye.
creepy.
Cooper walks around the house, criticizes the windows because he's a dickhead. Fuck you. Go back downstairs then, dude. Lock yourself up by yourself.
Freaking
Ben
mole
tries to.
man.
Yeah, stupid old man. Ben tries to tell Cooper to shut up as they hook up the TV, and Ben is clearly now the man in charge. How much do you think that irks Cooper, and is there a racial component to any of this shit?
Oh, I was just going to say that because again, we're in the 60s during the civil rights movement, man. There's a lot of
Yeah.
tension. And for this black protagonist to be telling old white man what to do is
Oh,
probably in big nay,
to
at the
shut up
time.
and sit down and the whole
Yeah.
thing. I think it's ballsy on George Romero to like put out this movie that's got basically the guy who's doing literally everything, who's the brains of the operation, who's saving the day left and right, is a black man. That's pretty good stuff, man. You don't often see that, at least in this era of film. So the TV broadcast, the recent dead are coming back to life. They're walking around. They're seeking to kill. They eat their victims. They're setting up rescue stations. Would you guys try and make it to a rescue station?
If
I said that a long time ago. Yes. I am
Yeah,
on the
you did say
road.
that. Yeah,
well, it knowing how many zombies were out there,
yeah.
I would probably be hesitant, and then like have to think of like a legit plan in order to get my ass out there.
Well, their legit plan is that they're going to try. They're going to try and get to that gas pump and fuel up and then head to it. Would that be kosher with you?
Yeah, I probably would do that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, because it's a truck. It's got a large cargo area. You got a weapon now. You've got enough men. You would think would be enough to fight off. Because Barbara's not going to do anything. But there's enough muscle behind us. Maybe we could fucking make a good go at this thing.
Yep.
I thought in an odd twist in the news broadcast, they blame radiation from Venus and a satellite that came back into orbit, spreading some sort of odd or out of the ordinary radiation. Is this an
I
odd
love
twist for you guys?
I love this.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
how
I
come?
was like total fiending off of this
Yeah.
because again, it's like almost like Spider-Man when they bring the symbiote out of space. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, it just like and again, space is a new frontier for people in this time period as well.
True.
So it's like they're being extremely explorative and like don't know what's out in space. And this is kind of like very interesting to me at least.
There was a sci-fi aspect to it that kind of blew my mind. I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't realize we were going to go there with it." And the majority of zombie movies that we see now, modern day, it explains it as a virus.
Yep.
But this took it a totally different way, and I don't know if this is a thread that they continue in the other Romero movies. But I did not remember. I've seen this movie a few times, and I did not fucking recall that detail at all. So they decide they're going to get some of these bottles from down in, or jars, I should say, in the basement, and they're going to make Molotov cocktails out of kerosene and some rags and other items around the house. And they're going to station Cooper upstairs to toss some mollies downstairs so that they can facilitate movement and their escape to the gas pump, and then return to get the people. Good plan, bad plan, okay plan. What do you think?
Okay plan.
Okay,
I
not
liked it.
terrible.
I liked it.
Not terrible. The Molotov cocktail thing was good, I thought, but the way the execution of the plan was not so fucking great. So Tom and Ben are going to go to the truck, and Cooper is going to be upstairs. So Cooper deploys the Molotovs, and I got to be honest with you, I thought he did an okay job, man. I did not foresee this going as well as it did. I thought he was going to hit the truck, and the truck was just going to go on fire, because he got awful fucking close, right? I mean, shit. It would appear that worthless Barbara, Judy, and Helen are going to all stay downstairs with the injured kid in the cellar while Cooper is throwing these Molotovs. There's this teary goodbye between Tom and Judy. I don't want you to go. I got to go, babe. The whole fucking thing, right? Did you foresee her running out? I didn't think she would run out. I thought she was just going to lock herself in the cellar. Like
Same here. I thought she was going down.
Yeah. Well, she runs out, and she's going to go with Tom, who is apparently the slowest driver on Earth. I did not foresee Tom being a weak link in this fucking plan. They get to the pump, and after lighting a few zombies on fire with a torch, the whole thing is kind of unfolding. They're trying to get to the pump, the whole fucking deal. I'm screaming, shoot him in the head, because I thought that was a detail that they hit on either the radio or the TV. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe it's just because I've seen zombie movies my entire fucking life. But he's not hitting them in the head at all. He's just basically hitting them in like the torso or the upper body, and they're like just kind of stumbling around and then kind of coming towards them still. Man, I'm like, fuck, I'm so frustrated with that. Like, just shoot him in the head.
Yeah, and it was kind of like emphasized earlier that, you know, you need to shoot him in the head through the radio.
They did say that, right?
Yeah, they said it, like, and they showed it too. Like, he shot him in the torso like 3 times, then a headshot, and then it went down.
That's right.
So he should learn from his mistake.
Right. That's right. I just was like, man, dude, you're fucking killing me with that rifle. The key does not work on the pump, so they shoot the lock off. Is this a good idea to shoot a gun at a gas pump?
No.
I guess there's no choice, though, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. The gas starts flowing, but with the torch, it sets fire to the truck. Okay, so now we're really up the fucking creek, right? It's a total calamity as the truck's gas tank blows up and incinerates both Tom and Judy. A moment of silence for Tom and for Judy as well, even though Judy is really the one who fucked it all up and caused this issue in a way. Again, another L for the ladies. God, they're killing me. They're killing me in this movie. No strong women in this film whatsoever. This could not have gone worse. And now Ben has been left stranded. Did you think Ben would fucking bite it here?
No, I didn't think so. I think he, like, it based on like the way he was carrying himself through the film, I felt he was going to be okay, but I thought he was going to have to fight a little bit more, to be honest.
Basically, what Ben does is use fire to escape. And Cooper fails to let Ben in, even though that was the plan was to come back. Cooper saw the whole thing go down, too. So he knows goddamn well that Ben is fucking stranded out there. Cooper initially letting Ben die. I think I saw that coming. But, man, what a fucking cold-blooded asshole, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I did not like that at all. I thought it might be the actual end of Ben. Since he made it back in, now Ben is going to slap around Cooper, and damn right. Was there any satisfaction of Cooper getting slapped around, so Startled Sassos? Did you like to see Cooper getting his ass whooped?
Cooper's a grand scumbag, and I'm glad that Ben lays a smackdown on his candy ass.
That's the absolute right answer. The zombies feast on Tom and Judy's charred remains.
Bro,
and the
pour some
sound
liquor out
effects
for
for
those
this
poor
were
bastards,
fucking gruesome, bro. Gruesome.
I felt so bad when they fucking went up in smoke, man.
Yeah, no joke. And when the zombies are eating the bodies in the burned out truck, they're actually eating roast ham covered in chocolate sauce. The filmmakers joked that it was so nauseating that it was almost a waste of time putting on the makeup for the zombies, as they ended up looking pale and sick anyway. Ham and chocolate sauce. Murderous Mike, what does that do for you? Does that make you hungry for dinner or what?
It doesn't make me hungry for dinner, but I think that's a really cool way of doing it.
They went to like a butcher and got like pig intestines and like all of these things that these extras needed to like chomp on and maul and like tear
Yeah,
apart and like put in
dude.
their mouth.
This
Like
was
all
one
the
of
entrails that they're eating, and like someone's
Yeah,
eating a
yeah,
random hand, and
yep.
like, I mean, it's just really interesting.
It
yeah.
was one of the I think it was one of the best scenes in the film.
Absolutely. And with that, like, there's like a heartbeat type of soundtrack that really like sent it home, man. I
Yep.
really, really thought it was like, oh, this is so fucking hard to watch. What's the other movie that we reviewed that they used Bosco in for blood? Does anybody remember?
Was
Negative.
that in Psycho?
It was in Psycho, yeah. They used droplets of Bosco chocolate syrup in the shower scene to kind of create that swirl of blood in the drain as Marion
Well,
got
because
killed.
also like blood has a thicker consistency than water, so they couldn't use water in food coloring. They had to
No,
use something
yeah, and it's
thicker.
black and white, so they'll never key on the fact that it's fucking brown, right?
Exactly.
There you go. So we find out eventually after Judy and Tom are consumed. The kid has been bit on the arm, and that's the injury that's going on in that basement. And we don't know the rules yet, I guess. But wouldn't you think that if the kid was bit, she would eventually turn? I mean, wouldn't it fucking stand to reason, even if you don't know the rules?
But then that causes this moral again
Yeah,
conundrum. What do
moral
you
dilemma,
do?
right?
What if that's your kid? Like, I
I
mean,
get it.
Bill, you and I are parents, man. Like, if our kid gets hurt or sick with a fever, we go into parent mode and we try to protect that kid with all power, even if we know that kid's got no shot of coming out of it.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're not wrong, Sass. I'm just saying, if we don't know the rules, wouldn't it stand to reason that the kid is gonna fucking become a zombie at some point?
I don't know, man, because I mean, at this point, you don't know anything at this point.
Yeah. So the newscast says the next one's going to be at 3 o'clock. There's a sheriff that's organized basically a kill squad that goes out and hunts these fuckers. You kill the you kill the brain, you kill the zombie. The chief seems like just like a regular kind of guy, like a good old boy, and he's just organizing a bunch of people with rifles to go out and shoot a bunch of these zombies.
He's just got this fucking militia of
Yeah,
fucking rustlers, of
yeah,
fucking people just fucking shit up.
yeah. Which is kind of cool. Would you join a militia like that, Murderous Mike?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
just go out there and start hunting zombies, right? Zombie hunters.
I mean, there's
Especially
no
if
way
these
around it.
people, especially if these people are in rural like Pennsylvania where they know how to shoot, where they know how to hunt. It's kind of a no-brainer.
The power finally goes out at long last. I wondered when that was going to happen, and their luck finally runs out. Sorry about your damn luck. So the power goes out, and this is kind of when the movie kicks up into like a different level. Cooper is plotting to steal Ben's rifle. He basically tells his wife as much, and the zombies are going to start beating on the doors with rocks and stuff. They're going to weaken these ramparts and the barricades to the point where they're not going to be able to stop them from getting in. Cooper doesn't help, of course. He gets Ben's gun, and now there's like a battle for the gun, right? So this guy Cooper needs to get fucking dead eventually. Because he's such an obstructor, and to the point where now he's actively sabotaging everything since he's been emasculated.
Dude,
And
I wanted them to struggle and then like Ben to flip them into the zombie arms and just get like eaten alive, but
oh
I
yeah,
just wish that happened. That would have been so
I
vindicative.
I would have loved to seen a zombie eat this fucker. We've got the battle, right? We've got the doors are weakening. Ben grabs the gun. There's a battle for the gun. Even though the zombies are trying to get inside the house, we're battling for this gun. The humans are trying to kill each other inside as the zombies are on the outside. And guess what? Cooper gets shot in the stomach. Moment of silence for Cooper. He's a fucking loser, and nobody likes him. He kind of like stumbles downstairs into the basement, and he looks like he's on his way out. Helen, who's holding a door that now breaks, and Barbara does help her free. She's like trying to stop these fucking things from breaking through. Karen, who's the young girl, is now going to wind up eating Dad. Because she's turned into a zombie, right? So Cooper goes downstairs after he was shot. She's dead, dude. You just got yourself eaten. You played yourself.
Yeah, man. He got his just dessert.
His own kid eating him, I guess, is sort of justice, I suppose. Mom goes downstairs. Zombie Karen stabs the mom to death with what I would guess is a trowel. With the scream, with the sound effects. I think it's the worst kill in my opinion. Worst meaning the most gruesome.
Oh yeah, I was going to say this is horror. Yeah.
A weird scenario to even think about a zombie using a implement to kill somebody, but that like screaming and sound effects that came out from this. Moment of silence for fucking Ellen. She did.
I feel like they had to do it also because they didn't have enough money to really simulate like a good way of gnawing on someone and killing them.
Right.
Like,
they probably weren't able to either.
Well, that's the thing. Like there were scenes where you had like a group of people hoarding around others, and and you would assume like, oh, they're dead. But you don't see like, the gnawing and pulling of, organs and shit out like you do later on.
Yeah, because again, like there are still standards. It is the 60s. It's not as intense. Like they don't show things on TV like this normally.
Yeah. Well, that trowel stabbing, man, I don't know. That pushes the borderlines for me. Even to today's standards, that's pretty fucking gruesome, man.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
That. What the fuck is what I have down in my notebook for the death of Helen, because it was so rough. Basically, is all I have here. Johnny returns. And so basically, Barbara swapped spots with Helen. Helen went down to go find her daughter, and that left Barbara to hold the fucking door that was getting broken in by the zombies. And once the door's broken down, it's Johnny with his driving gloves.
Yeah, dude.
That was the only reason I knew it was him.
That was the dead ringer, man. It was perfect. It was so perfect to be like, haha, he's the real zombie now, too.
Yeah,
like, no one's
absolutely. Even though Barbara was a waste of space, I didn't like that she had to die.
I feel like in the theaters, this would cause a lot of fear.
Oh, yeah, agreed. Barbara gets dragged out of the house by basically a horde of zombies and just fucking ripped out and eaten. So moment of silence for Barbara. She's donezo as well. Ben is all by his lonesome, and there are zombies from the beginning to the end of this house, all over the place, wandering around. And he basically does an end around on Karen, the little girl who came up from the basement to try and bite his arm. He like struggles away from her real quick, does a little scoop-de-doo, whoop, I'm out, and then barricades himself down in that basement. Ironic that the basement was actually the savior, and he didn't want to go down there. So there's some irony in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you are right about that, bro. It was the last place he wanted to be.
Well, it was the last resort, too. Zombie Cooper and Zombie Helen are downstairs, so Ben goes down there and decides he's going to shoot them both in the head. So there won't be any zombie jump scares at the end of this movie for Mr. Ben. Ben hunkers down to wait for the next morning. There's a helicopter, there's the kill squad out, the whole thing. The zombies are all gone from inside of the house. So the kill squad looks like an organized effort. Zombies are getting killed everywhere. They're just fucking they're putting all the dead people back to being dead. And it looks like Ben is going to be, he's like, I'm saved. I'm going to live through this thing. And takes down the barricades to leave the basement. Did you foresee what was going to happen next?
No way, dude. No way.
Is this a satisfying ending without giving away the ending? Is this a satisfying ending, Murderous Mike?
It was not satisfying for me, but it's realistic in my opinion.
He undoes the barricades of the basement, and they wind up seeing in the house, oh, there must be zombies over there in that house. They shoot Ben through the fucking window. He gets killed. He's a real person. Now, my first thing is, hey, help, help, I'm a human. Like, you think, wouldn't you say that? Like, hey, help, hey, guys. Is there some sort of, you think there's some sort of potential racial component here? Like, what exactly is going on here, Mike?
I mean, I guess you can kind of feel that, like, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, because to be completely clear from what I recall in the scene, they were all white men.
Oh, they were all white. Yeah,
they were all.
There was not a black man in sight other than the one that got shot.
It was some good old boys. Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, I heard movement in there. We gotta get them." And it's like, okay,
hey, shoot that black guy.
But the thing is,
these
like,
guys are shoot first, ask questions later.
No, 100%. And it's like, but what I'm trying to remember is did he even get to the window in time to get a chance to see
That's
it
what
was
I
people?
mean.
No, he really didn't. He
really had never had a chance. I was actually so annoyed at this ending. I was like, the only survivor gets fucking shot, sniped.
He gave me the same thing, like,
oh yeah,
like irony and fuck that. Like, what the fuck? Completely unsatisfying, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually really annoyed when this movie, and like I wanted to call you guys immediately. But I was like, I need to wait. I'm like, it's really late, and I need to wait till this review.
No joke.
I was so annoyed.
They wind up dragging Ben out with a meat hook and toss him in the fire anyway, because apparently he was a zombie to them. Moment of silence for Ben did not deserve the fate that he was given. Realistic, Murderous Mike says, I guess because they're so trigger happy, because there's zombies literally everywhere, like the care that one would usually take to make sure that it was an actual zombie may not be taken, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean they're out there to clean up shop. They're not thinking there's survivors out there. They're thinking we gotta get them all.
They're thinking there's a bunch of zombies out here. Well, and they might not be wrong either, because as they're walking in, they do discover there are zombies all over the place, and there's a burnt truck. There's a whole fucking scenario. There's obviously a battle here. The whole
bit. I mean, they basically. I'm like, okay, this place got taken.
Yeah. Well,
actually, question.
Go for it, Mike.
What happened to all the zombies from when Ben got downstairs?
They just left. They wandered away.
They just pieced out. Okay.
Yeah.
They wandered away, and the fucking posse got them.
Yeah, they were
that's
like
what I'm saying.
In the
like
fields and shit. Yeah.
If there were some stranglers, like stragglers around, then they're like, oh, let's just clean up shop, and it even enforces more of like why they would just shoot him, because they're like, oh, there's another one in the house.
Yeah, the victim of getting caught in the crossfire, and some super anxious dudes to just shoot everything that moves. The credits roll as the still shots of Ben getting ripped out of the house by a hook is both sad and disappointing. The end. And it happened so suddenly, it was like you couldn't even really digest what the hell was happening until it happened. So in that way, the surprise ending fucking shocked me.
I felt like robbed at the end.
Yeah, a little bit. I could see that reaction too. Final thoughts around the horn, Murders Mike. Give me some of your final thoughts.
For a film that was released in 1968, I think it's pretty legit. I mean, it has a lot of like characteristics that no one's seen back then.
Yeah.
Watching it today with fresh eyes, I did find parts of it a little boring. But you can't watch it with like today's standards. You gotta look at it from that lens, and when you look at it from like that time period, I think it is one of those like classics of like it's got everything you would want for like a film from the the late 60s.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's pretty good, and I think it holds up, but maybe not to the level that we're used to seeing. So, Startled Sassos, what's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, again, I am a fan of classics. I am all about the history. I am all about the stuff that started it all. I love this movie overall. Again, it shows us what happens when society falls. And again, it kind of captures the day that it was shot in. So I give it a lot of respect and props. I mean, that's why we're watching it now 40 plus years later.
Right.
Let's see, what, 80 years later and still talking about it,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
kind of
come
unbelievable when you
on.
put it in terms like that. It is
Come on.
unbelievable,
I
and
mean,
you could see why
this
it was
movie,
so successful too.
and this movie shouldn't be relevant nowadays, but
Right.
it is. Just like we watch Hitchcock movies,
Hmm.
just like we watch other things that are old classic timepieces, this set the standard
Yeah.
for zombie movies.
My final thoughts are it's like a cornerstone type movie where if we don't have this, are those other things that we love and enjoy in the modern time even possible? Do they even get made? I don't know. There were zombie movies before Night of the Living Dead, but I don't think any of them were nearly as good as what we just watched here. And it started an entire movement, man. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. We'll go back to Murderous Mike. Give us your pumpkin rating. Don't give me any rotten pumpkins.
I I feel it's a 4.
A four.
Mm.
That's fairly
I
high.
like that grade. I like that
Wow.
grade. I expect you to do less.
Yeah.
Well, because like when I first finished watching the film, my initial thought was a 3.5.
Right.
Um, but then as I got let it sit and as we talked, and it's like again, you gotta look at it from the perspective of it came out in 1968,
Right.
like, and there's a lot about it that was done very well. Like
Yeah.
it's like you were saying, Bill, like the lighting and like the the focus on the detail of the house, the zombies themselves, the way they did things, it was done very well. Yeah, there were
Yeah.
some parts of it that were just like kind of boring, and the writing for some of the characters were kind of like meh.
Yeah.
But you can't let that take down the whole film because of like certain pieces of it, in my opinion.
Agreed. So, Startled Sassos, what's your pumpkin rating, sir?
You know I'm a good grader,
Oh.
and I'm actually giving this a 4.5 pumpkins, just because
Wow.
of all the things we said. I mean, I love this movie. I am a hopeless romantic when it comes to black and white movies,
Hmm.
and I am a hopeless zombie romantic. I love zombies. I love everything zombie. Love it, love it, love it. I might be a zombie. I don't know.
He
You
loves
know.
the song "Zombie" by the Cranberries. He loves it
Yeah,
all.
I love that song, and honestly, like it's like we said, like this this put zombies on the map.
Yeah, it certainly did. Cinematography A plus, makeup and effects A plus, story, mm, acting,
Hmm.
some of the stuff in the middle, but it does have some killer kills. It's got some controversial and new type things that we take for granted now. That I just think at the time I think they were big risks, and I think the risks paid off for me. It's a 3 3/4 pumpkins. I didn't quite give it the four, but I'm the lowest grader today, which really is a fucking strange thing. 3 3/4. We had a 4.5, a four, and a 3 3/4 pumpkins. Pretty damn good, I'd say. Pretty good movie. And that's it. That's your bow on Night of the Living Dead. Your next assignment, Mavens out there, is 2008's movie Teeth. This is not a movie I've ever seen. This was a fan selection, and I am interested to see it. I can't wait to see what's in store for the movie Teeth. I've never even heard of it,
I'm
but we're
very
going to dive
intrigued.
in. It's going to be interesting, I think. I have a feeling it's going to be one of those ones that's kind of a gross out movie. And that's your new assignment, Mavens. We thank you so much for listening, and we want to hear from you. Give us some feedback on Podbeam, on TikTok, on Instagram. We've got all the socials up and running. Give us some ideas of movies you'd like us to review, and just about anything else. Just reach out and say hi to us. We've got some really exciting things coming up, some coloring contests and some Meet the Maven segments coming up, and I'm really, really excited about all the things that we've got going on in the near future. So in the meantime, enjoy those horror movie experiences, everybody. Stay scary out there. For So Startled Sassos and Murderous Mike, I'm Bad Luck Bill. We'll see you on the flip side.